Hi everyone, it's Molly with Legendary Stakes, and today I thought it would be a good idea to walk you guys through the leaderboard and how it's broken down and how you can read it and understand all the different complicated components that it has. There is a lot of really valuable information in the leaderboard that can help you succeed as a competitor in the annual competition. So let's dive into it. When you navigate to our leaderboard page at legendarystakes.com, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see 3 rows of toggles. So let's break them down really quickly. So first is your season toggle. As you can see, there are 2 seasons, 2024 and 2025, as we've only had 2 years of competition. So we're going to stay with the 2025 year. Next is view by. As you may know, we have 4 competing categories in Legendary Stakes: horse, rider, breeder, and dam. So each of these categories have their own separate leaderboard because riders only compete against riders, horses only compete against horses, and they never intersect, so they all have completely different leaderboards. So just for an example, let's toggle to the breeder leaderboard, and now as you can see, it just shows all of the breeders and their ranking. Below that toggle is the filter by discipline, so you're going to see the all legendary button and then a bunch of disciplines after, which are all of the active disciplines that people are competing in this year. The all legendary leaderboard comprises of all competitors in the competing category over the course of the year over all disciplines. When you toggle to a discipline leaderboard, you're going to see all competitors in that discipline, and you'll see that these leaderboards are a bit smaller because they're more niche. So for example, in the barrel racing discipline, there are only 2 horse competitors, whereas when you go to cow horse, you're going to have a significant increase. So cow horse seems to be a more popular discipline in Legendary Stakes. So how could you use that information to your advantage? Maybe if you've dabbled in barrel racing a little bit, or maybe not much at all, you could potentially go to a barrel race and claim your spot on the barrel leaderboard and get some event purses and possibly some season purses as well. So going back to the all legendary leaderboard, below that you're going to see a search bar, and it says search horses, and this is just where you can search for whatever competitor you want to find in a very simple, fast way. You can do that for the horse, the rider, the breeder, and the dam. Just make sure that you have the toggle on the right category when searching for them. Okay, so that was a pretty simple breakdown of how to operate the leaderboard, and now let's get into the meat and potatoes, all of the stats that are listed on the leaderboards. When looking at the leaderboard from left to right, you're going to see the ranking, the horse, the discipline, season, division, the rider, the breeder, the dam, and the sire that pertain to that horse. On the other half of the leaderboard, you're going to see a ton of numbers, so let me break those down super quickly. So first we have events, which is the total number of events that horse has attended. I will say this is only discipline specific, so if you have a multiple disciplinary horse, they might show up on the all legendary leaderboard multiple times. Next to that you see points, and this is the total accumulated points of that horse. And these points are associated with the event purses. If you're interested in learning more about the point system, you can head over to our YouTube channel at Legendary Stakes or go to legendarystakes.com on our FAQ page, and we have all of our educational content on that page. Next to points, you see average place per event, and this is just the average of what they place at an event. Next to that, you see the purses staked, and that is associated with the points. So the amount of purses help determine the amount of points that you'll receive. Again, that point system video kind of explains that well. Next to that are the top offspring, best of the best, and champion purses, and that is just a thorough breakdown of the purses staked, and you can see which purses that they've won and how many. So Long White Lion has staked 5 top offspring purses, 5 best of the best purses, and 2 champion purses, totaling to 12 purses staked. Next to that, you see the offspring rank, and Long White Lion, who is the all legendary horse right now, has ranked number 1 among their sire, which is Sandman. So out of all the Sandman offspring competing in Legendary Stakes, Long White Lion is number 1. Next to that is the discipline rank, and that is where the horse or category ranks in the discipline. So Long White Line would also be number 1. This is valuable information because while you might not be ranked number 1 in the all legendary, you could be ranked number 1 by your sire or in your discipline, which still carry season purses. And then next to that is the legendary rank, which is really just a repetition of the very first ranking you see on the page at the far left. And then you have the current stakes value, which is the monetary value that you currently hold in the competition. Now, it is extremely important to disclose that these values are not concrete until December 31st of the competition year. So these stakes are associated with your rankings and are subject to change. Event purses, when you win an event purse, that's yours. The value of that event purse changes because as the year continues, the purses grow, but the stakes purses are not a guaranteed win. So it's important to know that so that you can stay on top of the game, check in on your rankings, and make sure you're still at the top of the leaderboard. And then at the far right, you have the performance rate. And the performance rating is your horse's star rating based on its rank among all legendary stakes competitors. It shows how well the horse performs compared to others. Or you can substitute horse for rider, dam, breeder. It's all the same across categories. So that's our breakdown of the leaderboard. This information is so valuable so that you can know where you stand amongst your competitors, in your discipline, amongst offspring of your sire, or all legendary across the board. And so I hope you can take some of this information and use it for your own benefit, and good luck with the rest of the year.